What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Dave and I make content around running, shoe reviews, and my life. I'm back reviewing running shoes and this one is very special. I've been holding off on reviewing this one until after I raced in it for the Noosa Marathon. This shoe gives me genuine pleasure every time I put it on. I've got with me here the Saucony Endorphin Elite. This is my favorite shoe on the market and I don't usually get so heated up when I'm reviewing, but this shoe has got me fired up. As a disclaimer guys, Saucony was nice enough to send me these shoes for my Noosa Marathon prep series, but they don't have any influence on what I have to say in this video today. I just wanted to add that you should take what I say with a pinch of salt. Best thing that you can do is go down to your local running store, try on a whole bunch of shoes, see which one works best for your foot and your stride, your cadence, all that jazz. Because what works really, really good for my foot and really, really bad for my foot might work really, really good or really, really bad for your foot, okay? So best thing you can do is go try a whole bunch on and take what I say as just an opinion. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into my full review. In today's video, I'm gonna explain why this is my favorite shoe, what's so bloody great about it, and what my best comparison to the shoe would be. Oh, and I've got 200 miles in these bad boys now, so I am so ready for this review. Let's do it. Now, it wouldn't be a full review without going through some specs, rapid fire style. So it's got a 39.5mm stack with an 8mm drop, and it comes in at 200 grams for my 8.5 US. It's got its own special midsole, which Saucony called the PowerRun HG foam, which is a supercritical foam. This is a step above the PowerRun PB foam, which is found in the Endorphin Pro series. Wedged between the foam is a carbon plate, which you can actually see through the bottom of the shoe here. It's got a very minimal upper and it's got a super aggressive speed roll technology in the front there, which you can see curving up at the front of the shoe. Probably the most aggressive rocker that I've ever seen in a super shoe, which just honestly adds to the magic in my opinion. Yeah, I told you it was gonna be fast. So why do I love it? I've done literally everything in this shoe. And when I say everything, I mean everything. From a 5-kilometer race to key sessions, marathon workouts, and I even ran Noosa Marathon. Well, 3/4 of it anyway. The Endorphin Elite quickly became my favorite shoe ever, so much so that it gained the nickname the cheat code. I was a little unsure if I liked this shoe at first, just with it being a little bit firmer than I'm used to. But then after running about 40 to 50 kilometers and breaking it in, this shoe really came alive. So I would probably give this shoe about 50 Ks to break in before you use it for a key race. The things that I like most about this shoe is the width in the midfoot that really accommodates for my arch, the roomy toe box, which really isn't like its younger brothers, the Endorphin Speed or the Endorphin Pro at all, and the responsiveness that you get from this shoe, which is honestly just like nothing else. The only other shoe that I can compare its consistency to is the Adios Pro 3 from Adidas, but the Endo Elite is just so much more stable, more comfortable, and so much more suited for my foot. I found that I also ended up with like blisters from the Adios Pro 3. So if you get on pretty well with the Pro 3 and you may have some minor issues with arch problems, then I think this shoe is gonna be bloody great for you, like it was for me. I know that this shoe isn't new in any regard. I think this shoe's been out for about 18 months now, but it's one of those shoes that I really wish I found sooner. I mean, I haven't compared these ones to a fresh pair of Elites, but I'd go far as betting that they would feel almost the exact same. So that's a testament to Saucony for building a shoe with some really good longevity. So when do I use it? This has been my go-to for long runs at moderate to tempo pace. And definitely marathon sessions. Those runs are the reason that I call it the cheat code. It just makes life so much easier when these are underfoot. The aggressive speed roll rocker, which you can see in the geometry of the shoe here, actually makes it quite uncomfortable to run slower in. So I wouldn't recommend wearing these for your slower, longer runs. But it's less of a pace thing, and I think it's more of a stride thing. Because when you are running at the faster paces, you've got a longer stride and you tend to land more on the forefoot, which is how this shoe is designed and how pretty much all super shoes are designed these days. They're built to be ran fast in, and that's exactly what this shoe is for. Because they are a little bit wider in the midfoot and a little bit more stable, I found they're perfect for track sessions. All those races where you know there's gonna be some tight corners and you're looking for a little bit more stability. Comparing it again to the Adios Pro 3, I found that they were quite unstable going around corners, etc. But the Endo Elite, I really struggle with stability in my ankle because my ankle really tends to roll in, and the stability of the Endo just really accommodates for that. It's been really, really good. And I was a little bit worried, as I'm sure everybody else was when they first looked at the shoe, that the heel counter would be a bit weird, because it is weird. I mean, look at it. It's strange. But I was pleasantly surprised after my first couple of runs that I didn't notice it at all, and yeah, it was made for a really good lockdown and was really comfortable. So, I mean, points for looking wacky, but also points for being practical as well. Okay, so we're 200 miles deep, but how is the durability looking on the shoe so far? So just looking at the shoe, I think it's pretty safe to say that it looks pretty beat up, but let me just say that, to be fair, the majority of the miles that have been done in this shoe have been quality and at pace, or in a race. This shoe has barely done any easy running. And I haven't cleaned them once, and I know what you're thinking, oh Dave, if they're your favorite shoe, why don't you clean them? Look, I don't really have an answer for you right now, so let's just move on to the next thing. The upper, although it is a little bit dirty, is in near perfect condition in regards to like your durability. So there's no holes and there's no stretching in the upper as well. The exposed foam on the bottom of the shoe has some wear and tear, which is to be expected. That stuff's not the most durable stuff in the world, but it's the foam that's really impressed me. It's got a lot of life and it is still kicking. I would argue that I can get a good 100 miles, good quality 100 miles still left in this shoe before it starts to before it starts to lose that performance aspect. I mean, I would definitely still wear this for a marathon, but I think that maybe after another 100 miles, I think that I would look for a newer shoe. Probably a brand new version of this shoe as my go-to marathon shoe. So I know I've been talking about how much I love the shoe, but it is fair to talk about my dislikes. There is not many of them, but there is a few. So my first dislike is the laces. So with the laces, on the newer colorway, they're quite stretchy. And I found it's a little bit annoying to get a solid lockdown on. The shoe itself makes for a really, really good lockdown, but I found that the stretchy laces just doesn't quite cut it for what I'm used to. But I mean, it still does the job, but yeah, I'm nitpicking here. If they could, you know, put some more race-specific laces, like I like the little ribbed ones that they have on the Alphafly 3s. I think it's on all the Vaporflies as well. And they also have them on the Metaspeed Sky Paris. And I absolutely love those laces. So yeah, if I wanted them to upgrade one thing, it would be that. Another dislike is, well, this isn't really a dislike, but they're pretty uncomfortable to run slower in. I know that's just the geometry of the shoe, and that's just the nature of a super shoe. But I mean, it would be nice to be able to have a more comfortable run if I'm running a little bit slower, maybe on my warm-ups leading into a session, or my cool downs after a session. But you can't have it all, and I understand that, Saucony. And lastly, the colorways. I do like this colorway, and I do like the all white with the gold, but Saucony do tend to have some pretty out there colorways. These were released in the green, which I think was a big mistake. I think it deterred a lot of people from buying the shoe just because of that. It was pretty out there to have an all green shoe. I think they should have gone with a more classic staple colorway when they first released these, and I think they would have built a lot more hype at the start. I don't see as many people wearing the Elites as I should. I feel like they're just starting to get a bit more traction in Australia, which is amazing and I love it, but I think it's still a fairly unknown shoe in the Australian markets, which is, it's just such an underdog, and I don't understand it, because after putting this on and wearing it and racing in it, I don't know how more people aren't talking about this shoe. I just don't understand. If you're looking for a shoe that brings a wider, more stable side to the super shoe game, then this is the shoe for you. If you're looking for a shoe that holds up in races from the 5K all the way up to the marathon, then this is a shoe for you. This shoe is definitely geared towards faster performances. So if you're looking for a shoe to run a little bit slower in, then this isn't the shoe for you. But if you're looking for a PB, then this shoe has my complete faith. Let me know in the comments what you think of the shoe, what your opinions are. If you like it, if you hate it, I want to hear it all. Because I genuinely think this is the greatest shoe I've ever put on. Nobody's paying me to say that. This is what I genuinely believe. But that is going to conclude my 200-mile full review of the Saucony Endorphin Elite. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you give it a like, subscribe, and share this video with your running buddies so they don't miss any of my future shoe reviews. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Hello. Yeah, I saw the leaked images of the Elite too. Yeah, I know, it looks freaking crazy. I love it.